So guys, if you follow the channel, you know that we make a lot of videos about Muslim rape gangs, African rape gangs, you know, the downsides of mass migration. And the main reason is because it's not that we hate mass migration, well we do, but it's not that. It's the fact that mainstream media just generally doesn't cover this sort of stuff. And if they won't cover it, then I suppose we have to. But this has to be the worst excuse ever. And if you read the headline, you might get an idea of what we're talking about. So a migrant says he accidentally raped a Belgian woman. Quote, "I wasn't feeling myself that day." Well, shit. Sorry you weren't feeling yourself that day. I'm sorry you went and you raped some girl while she was in her house because you weren't feeling yourself that day. Maybe if you had have felt yourself, you wouldn't have had blue balls and you mightn't have raped the girl. Or, you know, maybe if you didn't go to rob her in the first place, you wouldn't have been put in that position. Just throwing it all out there, maybe a few bad choices on that day might have been your downfall. But let's jump into the story. Taraf A, I know I'm getting that name wrong, I apologise, well not really, he's a rapist so I don't care actually, but raped a Belgian woman during a burglary in the Belgian town of Crack, I'm getting that name wrong, that I do apologise for. He was finally caught nearly 5 years after the horrible act, after an international DNA investigation, Belgian newspaper HLN reports. The irony of this is that over in the UK, they literally get names, addresses, and everything of perpetrators. Eyewitness case, everything you could possibly imagine for an open and shut case. And they're too busy to investigate. Here's Belgian reportedly doing an international DNA investigation and finding a guy. That goes to show that one country is motivated to do something, another's not. The North African migrant raped a woman in her apartment in Croix city centre. He put a knife to her throat and raped her on the kitchen table while her partner was working in their copy centre nearby. Taraf then robbed a woman of her handbag and moved to Luxembourg, where he was caught thanks to a DNA investigation nearly 5 years later. This is sounding like he might have been a repeat offender or he's done something else over in Luxembourg, which actually triggered the DNA test. But anyway, I wasn't myself that day. It happened by accident. What? I wasn't myself that day. It happened by accident. It wasn't me, Your Honour. It was my other personality. Taraf said in court, but the judge wasn't impressed and sentenced him to 6 years in prison. Probably should have given him more than 6 years, but just saying. But I'm glad he got something. The 28-year-old North African migrant Taraf A came to Europe a few years ago. He claims he's been addicted for years to alcohol and drugs. And on an unrelated case, seems to not want to own up to responsibility for things that he might or might not have done. Just saying. Okay, so look, obviously to lighten the mood, I love the fact that they're using fake arms in this picture. If you actually look here, you actually see that's where the arms actually vanish. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, look, obviously with this, probably the worst excuse I've ever heard. You know, I'm sorry, Your Honour, I wasn't feeling myself that day. I'm sorry I raped this girl, you know. I couldn't control myself. She was, look what she was wearing. You know, sort of thing, but I don't know. But guys, look, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think does this have to be the worst excuse you've ever heard? Have you heard of a worse excuse than this? Are you glad that he only got 6 years, or do you think he should have gotten more? I would have loved to throw the book at him for 20 or 25 years, personally, but anyway. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.